nerderotic.com.
So I can do this right, because I lost my place, because I have to use my laptop. So how is it going? I got my Nerdrotic beanie on. Let's see what we've got here. By the way, if you're watching this on Nerdrotic Live later, when this does premiere, these are the lovely and talented patrons who I need to mod. Hang on, I need to mod some of these people. I hope I didn't just remove a mod. If I removed a mod, let me know. I didn't mean to. Add, because I was adding. So I'm adding moderators as we go. And we got RR Stellar Heather, Nettle Nerds, Draco Argentinius, and who else? And Echo Watt. Greetings, everyone. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. Cardinal Sin's here. What's up, Cardinal Sin? And Andrew Brown. All right. All right. Want Gary to rule them all. I don't want that kind of responsibility, Draco. No, it's all good. So I might double up on some questions here. Better to double up than to miss some, I say. Hang on. I got to stand up, and I don't want to give you guys I got to open my window, and I sincerely don't want to give you a crotch shot. It's just not my intention. There we go. Let's get a little stuffy in here. All right. Well, I'll start out with Nicholas Horton. I'm pretty sure we left off with the great Nicholas Horton. And, I wanted to, I was pondering. I was on my walk today. Went outside for my hour-long walk, run, whatever it was. And, you can boil everything down that Hollywood, the BBC, and comic books are doing to this. They are using what they label as marginalized people. They're using their quote unquote compassion for these people to shame others. That's it. They don't care about the quote-unquote marginalized people. Not saying that people aren't marginalized in this country, in this world. Of course they are. But that's the label they use as they see a large group of people who some are, some aren't. And they use it to shame others. They don't really care about the other thing. So we're seeing that a lot in comic books. See, the reason I'm on the comic book thing again, and I've been saying it for years on this channel, is it's been a proving ground, and they're the most obnoxious. They're not very smart. At least some actors and some producers in Hollywood, the producers generally are a little smarter than your garden variety meat puppet pretender and comic book artist and writer. Now, some are brilliant, like Alan Moore, and but some are not. Some are not. And that's why they draw funny books. And that's good. And the fact that they're good at it, they should just be a little more grateful. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I was really tired today. Apparently, Melissa, my wife, Mrs. Nerdrotic, let me know that some people were wondering if I was going to ever make a video again. And I've been working on the Picard one, and that comic one was half done, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it or not. And then another bit of news popped up, so I decided to do it just to put a video on the channel. And it's doing okay. So I'm very happy about that. And but otherwise, I've done a lot of live streaming, and I'm a little burnt because I stay up super late. When I'm done with a live stream, I'm all jacked up, and it takes me like 3-4 hours to just mellow out. Plus, I had a really strong cup of coffee before the Inquisition last night. So, yeah. And it is 9 p.m. here at time of recording. And again, we're doing this exclusively in front of a Patreon audience. We start with Nicholas Horton, who says, "Hail all, Yoda is 900 years old, and he ain't gonna appear in the High Republic. No respect for the classic characters." They probably didn't realize that he was that old or didn't think about it. I'm not going to say that people who work at Disney Star Wars don't know that Yoda's 900 years old. That would be impossible. I'm just saying they don't care. You're right, Nicholas. They don't care. This is about undoing Star Wars and remaking it for Disney and undoing it to its core. And it has everything to do with intellectual property law and nothing else. I am convinced beyond the shadow of a doubt that Disney partially bought Star Wars, enough of Star Wars to have a controlling interest, but there's certain little things they can't use or they got to give kickback. And I mean, if it's a percentage of a penny, they're not going to do it. Also, they are trying to use these things as political platforms. There's no doubt in my mind about that because they've come out and said it. And the past Star Wars is problematic. They're trying to fit it into the modern age, whatever Disney thinks it is. Now, I highly doubt that anybody in a position of power at Disney is really in tune with the common person, just as any politician is really in tune with the common person. I can probably say with somewhat certainty that most politicians and most elite Hollywood executives have no idea what it's like to be out of work, have a family of 4 at home, have to file for unemployment. And when we have them willy-nilly talking about, multiple lockdowns and lockdowns for long periods of time or a year, it's not going to be feasible, folks. They can talk about it, but not in this country. It's just not. A couple months, I'm sure the people will chill. You start getting into a year, questions are already being asked. So we'll have to see what happens. Just for making my Friday, looking forward to the dialogue. Bring Mace back. And that was Joseph, and thank you for the $10. And Nicholas Horton gave £5. Nikki D, $5. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your excitement for the MCU Phase 4? Films such as Eternals and Thor 4 sound lackluster. I don't know if we ever fully answered that question, Nikki. I get sidetracked so easy. I would say it's for the Eternals and Thor 4, it's at a 5. And that's pretty low. You know what? We'll have to see how they come back. I'm not really excited for the MCU anymore. Disney has just done far too much damage to things I love for me to trust them. I trust Kevin Feige, but it's just everything they say. I know people get in denial, just like people were in denial about Star Trek Picard. We had the producers and John, I always do it, and Patrick Stewart coming out and saying what kind of a show this was going to be, and they kept their promise, and it was crap. Killers recognize killers, says Modalicious for $2. They certainly do. They certainly do. Problem Being says for £1.99, is Brie Larson the first coming? Well, she's the second coming in the MCU, but she's the first coming to Kevin Feige. Allegedly. Just kidding. Hello, all my Scottish words, says Scottish Nerd for £2. And he was talking to, of course, talking to Drink. Drink was awesome. Az was awesome. That was a great live stream. That was probably top 2 or 3 or 4 Friday Night Tights. And I look forward to the next one. Some Nobody for $2 says, did you see my email? Cheer you up, Eddie? And yes, I did. Some Nobody, and it did. It did. Crazy Cat Guy gave a unicorn, and of course, the unicorns are phallic symbols, so just imagine it as a big doom's cock. As a doom's cock, which was anointed last Friday, which was pretty funny. So, Holding Out for a Hero Girl says, SC Reviews says that Aquaman will be homosexual for €2. That was probably an April Fool's joke, but you never know. They'll probably make him bi. Eventually, here's what's going to happen. I heard the Columbo news that they want to, for one, like, it's a 70s TV show that nobody knows if they're under the age of 40. And to gender swap it, I mean, the kids wouldn't even know it was being gender swapped. So it's pointless. Mark Ruffalo, there would have been a time I would have been excited about that. I don't like him anymore. I used to be a big fan of his. Zodiac is one of my favorite all-time movies, and he was great in that. Sounds like a great movie. If they hold off any longer, they can call it Indiana Jones and the Crystal Wheelchair. For $10, says Joe Zeller, and yes, I did read that one, but I'll read it again. Andrew Harton gives us a cup of coffee for $4. Thank you very much. Jagerbaum. Schwartz says men are bad, yet it's said women are and men are equal, so women are bad too. On a brighter note, watch 40K's Astartes. Fans do it way better. I did watch a couple of those. They're cool looking. They're hella cool, but you got to be into it, like, I guess, to get it. I mean, they're really well done, but I mean, I've never, I mean, I know what 40K is. That's it. But it was cool. Yeah. The fans did that one proud. And it's, believe me, for Warhammer, you are much better off being a niche little thing that will probably never have a movie made about it, and you're just better off. Trust me. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted nothing more than to see Silver Surfer on the big screen. That's it. That's when I was a kid, even more than my favorite character, I wanted to see Silver Surfer on the big screen. And that was supposed to be a movie a long time ago. Jim Shooter was talking about it. It would have been terrible as an 80s movie, but I probably would have loved it. FDA approved koi pond cleaner for Trump derangement syndrome infected, says TC the Mandalorian for €2. Yeah, apparently somebody drank it and then they tried to blame the Orange Man, but it turned out that person was a Hillary supporter. That's according to Crowder. Bispic Saint says, Hail Gaza from the wide world of the West in the UK. They said, make your own myths, so I did. My graphic novel, Stitch Killer, launches Wednesday, April 8th. Weird, but science fiction abounds. We'll send you a copy. Thank you. I'll check it out. I look forward to it. Yes, make your own stuff. Nobody's going to stop you. Frank Hernandez for 125 Filipino pesos. All these white dudes are telling me what works for me about the comic book industry. And I love it. Sorry, I'm drunk. Just wanted to say hashtag the Phantom Menace. Fuck yeah. Culture Casino. Hollywood, a bunch of mindless jerks who will be the first against the war when the revolution comes. Says $5. Yes. That's the Hitchhiker quote. I gotta hang on. I'm trying to see. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, this is a long one. All right, here we go. Captain Robert April for $2 says he is now blocked by Dana Schwartz. Welcome to the club, my friend. Darth Bredicus for $2 says, yeah, tell Kirk sheer fucking hubris. I dare you. Jer Hermy for $2 says, your alt tears make me smile more than tater tots. And I bet you they do, Jer Hermy. Declan Lyons for £5 says Stewart's show on Extra was better than Picard. At least he gave the woman in the life raft their clothes At least they gave the women in the life raft their clothes before they fell off. Pure heroism. Yes. TC the Mandalorian says, so Picard is a bottom sex bot now? Maybe. The anonymous Mr. Smith for $10. Gary and the gang. Good to catch all my favorite YouTubers in one place. Thank you all for keeping my state of mind intact while the world falls apart. Everyone stay healthy out there. And that includes you guys in the chat right now, which is Stellar Heather, Cardinal Sin. And who else we got here? I'm just going to see if anybody new showed up. Matthew Matson, RR, Draco, Argentinius. I'm announcing you guys again. And Chuckzilla, what's up? I got to give you a wrench, dude. Wrench. And Nettle Nerds. The gang's all here. Okay, we're back to the super chats. I got to do my old man glasses thing. Frieds Wide 2019 for £5. What the hell is Picard's dog going to do? Now he's a robot? Pee up him like a lamppost? He might start growling at him. You never know. Darth Bredicus. Seen the Astartes 40K fan series? It's amazing. Everybody was talking about it even last night on the Inquisition. And yes, I did see it. It's pretty cool. Jarmo Nikumia. Toss a script to your Picard, O Riders of Plenty. O Riders of Plenty. There's no Riders of Plenty on that show, though. That's the problem. Mark C for $10. Star Trek doesn't explain character reveals, relying on your nostalgia of the original version to inform the new one. But pay no attention to the canon. We are making you draw nostalgia from. Exactly. Because that would require work. And they don't want to do the work. Matt G sends me a pink piece of cake for $1.49. October 15 for £2 says, sent some art via email. I can't donate anymore. Well, it's okay. You don't have to donate the art. But I'll check it out. As I can't donate anymore. That's okay. You don't have to donate October 15. Just participation is great. That's great. I mean, yeah, as time goes on, I know it's going to get tough, man. We're planning for that too. Sorry, I was watching a speech by the stupid mayor of LA before I started this, and I just like, wow, how did you guys vote that moron in? Oh yeah, my mayor's dumber, believe me. Digi Akuma for $5. Heard about Funimation's blog about production committees. Yellow Flash has released a video talking about their influence growing to push their flack. Yes, Yellow Flash is brilliant and on top of that all the time. And basically everything I know about Funimation and Vic is through Tug and Yellow Flash and Ricada. Cracklin, the movie Sucker Punch in 2011 was the first movie I recall that was destroyed by Bizarre Woke Agenda. I agree with that. And I read that one. I'm doubling up here, so I'm trying to get caught up to the ones we didn't read. Give me just a moment. 16-bit mascot. Hail everyone. Keep up the good work, fellas, in these dark times. Here's $1 each, minus Jeremy. That's right. This super chat. Deuce Pension for $2 says J-Lo is $30,000 for 4 hours. Her entourage is an extra $30,000. Hired her. Yeah, and we talked about like maybe crowdfunding $60,000 to have J-Lo mow our lawns collectively. That'd be pretty funny. Response to Madonna. Okay, boomer, says Aaron the Weird. I already read that one. Does the panel think Marvel was just trolling us with the new Warriors to get a reaction to their trailer? Yes, Captain Liberator for $5. Absolutely. That was throwing out the fishing line to get our attention for it, though. See, the thing is, they were still giving us the bird, and they wanted to use us to help promote it. And I do believe, I can double check here. Let's see where they are at downvote wise. I'm kind of multitasking here. So I just uploaded a Westworld review, which is a piece of the Inquisition. That'll be right here on this channel, so you can check it out. And then I just uploaded the chill stream from 2 nights ago on Nerdrotic Live. That'll be up at like 3 a.m, because then I have the rest of the Inquisition coming out the next day, and there will be a nooner tomorrow at 12. So let's take a look. See, we're gonna go to Marvel. And it's almost at 1 million views. It's at 198,000 dislikes. So we will get to 200,000 dislikes to 4,100 likes. That is a stunning ratio. That is a stunning ratio. Cigars and you guys are my sanity. Says you. Oh my goodness. Ulysses Macias. Thank you. John T. Levine for $9.99. That's £9.99. Is it pence? I don't know. What do you think of Jodie Whittaker's in-character video to reassure people about the thing that won't be named? The consensus has been that it's actually quite tasteful and good. I didn't think it was very good, John T. I thought it was in poor taste because of her insinuation that this is darkness, that we're in dark times. We're in serious times. This isn't dark times. We're not in the midst of world war. We're not in the middle of a cataclysm. And you don't want to be hyperbolic to the kids. It's a serious time. It's not a dark time. Now, we want to avoid dark times. We want to avoid frightening our children. And we also don't want to be hyperbolic. Jodie is coming at it from somebody who probably watches the news every day. And I'm telling you, the news has already been caught flubbing this. They've already been caught lying about some stuff. And because they're making a lot of money out this. They're making a lot of money out this. So you need to question absolutely everything you see on there. And that's very healthy to do. It doesn't mean don't believe everything. It just means question it. That's all. Because there are, remember, this is the same news that has been lying about stuff for 4 years, been caught lying about stuff for 4 years, been extremely wrong on a couple of narratives. So are we going to believe them now when our lives are possibly dependent on them? No, of course not. Now we want to trust our institutions, and hopefully they're doing the right thing, and hopefully that this is all worth it. If not, then we get mad at them later. Right now, you err on the side of caution, of course. But as far as Jodie Whittaker saying we're living in these dark times, I would thank you for the super chat, Jonty. But what was that consensus? Where was the consensus? Was this an official poll? What site was it done on? Was it done on Doctor Who TV? Was it done on a Doctor Who fan page? One of the Reddit groups that thinks I'm an ist or a phobe? I mean, what's the consensus? Because I remember people tweeting me that video, and I had hundreds in my mentions all over the place that people were pissed off about it, and I felt the same way. And considering none of the show has been done in good taste, I don't think they can do a child video in good taste. I recommend reading the SOA light novels before watching the anime for £5. Nicholas Horton. The SOA light before. What's SOA? I don't know what SOA is, Nicholas. I'm sorry. But it's always, I don't know, it's not always good to read the novel before an adaptation. I think it's always good to watch the adaptation before then, because you end up seeing it a lot different. You have zero expectations. Now, I don't know if I'd like The Witcher if I had played the game and read the books. I read one book prior, and it didn't ruin it at all. And I don't want to piss off Witcher fans. I enjoyed the book. It's not the best written book in the world, but it doesn't need to be the best written book in the world to be entertaining. There's some really well-written books that are boring as hell. Nothing like Benny Hill show ever again. That was funny stuff. Dino Apostolokis, I agree with you. And once we can have something like the Benny Hill show again on television and people don't get uptight about it, that means we have progressed as a society. Because a lot of the whinging we see online is insecurity. It's just flat out insecurity. It's people not being secure in their own skin, not feeling secure about their own lives. And quite frankly, we are our own worst enemy most of the time. Because if you really think about things, this is probably the first time in a lot of people's lives where a world event has affected you, like truly affected you. I could say that throughout my entire life, I can't think of too many times where a politician's decision has directly adversely affected my life. Maybe Gray Davis when he deregulated power and we all had to pay 300% more on our power bills the next month because the guy was a complete moron. But very few. 9/11 affected us, but yeah, it's how we treat our own lives. And it's important. I'm not saying, I'm not judging anybody for not working that out, but it's a serious situation. I see a lot of people in the comic book industry that could really benefit from some help. And I mean that with all seriousness. That's why he's got the huge helmet. Get 2 for 1. Oh, talking about Doom's cock. Of course, some nobody. Yes, Doom's cock. Tell us the story of Doom's cock. Well, next time we have him on Zero Duality, we will. We need the origin of Doom's cock. England Dana and the Sea of Doom, says Sebastian Annan. Now, hey, unfortunately, Danaz, it died too soon. It died in one night. I was shipping those kids hard. Damajanai, the great Damajanai. Hail, did you all see the symbiote substance on Twitter? Did a vid on it. Check it out, by the way. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Damajanai, you are brilliant, dude. And I will watch that video. That's cool. I did not see that at all. Mrs. Lockdown Radio. The only tiger here is Java Bean. is Java Bean. Thank you for $2 Australian. Lady Gravemaster for $5. Gary, sent you a DM on Twitter. The latest intersectional hierarchy. You're going to die. Even people in their own community aren't in enough anymore. Oh, shit. It's too bad I missed that before I did my video. Shit. Lady Gravemaster, you are a wonderful resource. Thank you for all your help, and I appreciate that, and I'll try to keep an eye on your messages. Sorry. Maybe that was my... I thought there was like a hair there, but maybe it's just an acid flashback. Those happen, by the way. So back when I would smoke, I would have them all the time. So I'd be like having a cigarette, and I'd puff my cigarette, and I'd move my hand away, and then like my hand would have a trail. It would go, and I get those, once every couple of years. That is straight up acid flashback, and it's hard to describe if you haven't fried. If you haven't, that's what we used to call it, frying. Because when you're on some really stuff that's laced heavily with strychnine, you see some like every time you move your hand, it's like it's trippy, man. Doom's cock drill into the hot magma, the red hot magma. Dr. Evil, Joseph Nash. I love Austin Powers. I do. Those first two movies, fucking love them. Bob Costas. From NBC, he's here. Says 420 Blaze. 420 Blaze it. Also, Bebop immediately. Drinker Doom's cock. Awesome stream, guys. Fixie Clary. Thank you, Fixie Clary. It's good to see you for $5. Jason Smoot for $10. This stream is fantastic. It's Mahler level hilarity. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. To achieve even close to what they do on EFAP is the highest of honors. Will Star Wars have a good male character again? Matthias Hernandino. Not under this regime, no. Not under this regime. Hey, by the way, did you guys... Josiah did a video on it. There is going to be... All the late night talk show hosts are getting to get... Hoes? Did I just say hoes? Yeah, I'm going to keep calling them that. All the late night talk show hosts are getting together... to do a stream. So I just shot a message to Jeremy. I want to see if he responded. That I said we need to do counter programming. Okay, so hang on. Let me get back to him. Okay. He just says, fucking boom, I'm in. So April 18th, all the late night talk show hoes are going to do a 2-hour live stream. It's Saturday night. I shot back to Jeremy. We should do a counter stream on 4/18 to the late night talk show host stream. Get everyone. And I mean everyone. So I'm going to reach out to people I've never even talked to before, but we're talking Mahler, we're talking Rags, we're talking Critical Drinker, we're talking Bulls Trek, we're talking Az, we're talking Jeremy, we're talking Jeff Hicks, we're talking EVS, we're talking yours truly, we're talking Doom's cock. Everybody. I'll send out a fucking thing to Razor Fist. I mean, I don't know if he even fucking knows me or even likes me. Probably doesn't like me because I cut. No, I'm just kidding. Other people. I'll think of other people. I'll send out a thing to Red Letter Media. I don't give a shit. I will try to get everybody on a stream. And I guess what I'll do is we'll do a 3-hour stream. And what we'll do is an hour on 3 different channels. So we'll do we'll find the biggest channels. That's what we'll probably do. So mine might not be the biggest channel. Like we might do Mahler, Drinker, if they're up for it. I don't know if they're up for it. I don't want to speak for them. But I think that would be pretty fun. And it's supposed to be put on by the World Health Organization and all this government elite bullshit that they're going to feed us a bunch of fucking propaganda. So we need to have some counter programming for that. We need to do it in that YouTube style that we do. I think it's a good idea. It's not like we'll be doing anything that night. No male. Will there be a good male Star Wars? There is. The Mandalorian's a good male character. I mean, the Mandalorian's a good male character. So is Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's a boy. So I think Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. She just flat out needs to go. Until she's gone, Star Wars has no hope of turning around. And at this point, they're starting from scratch. And Disney cannot start. I mean, I can just say this absolute. I have no doubt in my mind that they cannot start something from scratch. They're not capable of doing it. Now, if they get new management that's creative, that can handle that shit, maybe. But I'm talking new CEO, new head of Lucasfilm. Now, if Kevin Feige was in charge of Disney, I think that would be a good thing. Yeah, he says some woke shit, but I think he has to. But I don't doubt for 1 second that Kevin Feige knows his Star Wars and knows his Marvel. Not for one moment. Alex Kurtzman heard of Wrath of Khan and didn't give a shit about Star Trek. Probably didn't even watch a complete episode until he co-wrote the 2009 movie. And again, it just looks like to me they watched YouTube clips. And I've been doing a ton of research for my Picard review. And yeah, you can find a clip for everything they've referenced. Like everything. Including the end of Star Trek Nemesis. I doubt they even watched the whole damn movie. Terrible ending to that movie. Just absolute terrible ending to that movie. Think about the ending to Undiscovered Country. What that was a good. Think about the ending to All Good Things. Yoda will be the next Picard. Will totally betray us. Yes, DC and the Mandalorian. They'll probably make Yoda beat his wife or something, and that's why he had to go to Dagobah. It wasn't because of anything else. Josh. Disney walks into doctor's office for a checkup. Doctor says, "You got Voldemort." Disney responds, "That's absurd. I want a second opinion." Doctor says, "Okay, you'll also have Bob cancer." Amazing stream. Haven't laughed this hard in a while. Thank you. Chew, thank you very much. It was fun. Number one Marvel fan. Can't wait to see the vids on High Republic. LOL. Hail as a Nerdrotic. Yeah, I didn't make one. I'm not going to. I did a live stream on it. I think the time is past. And I don't think I can make a better joke than I did on Twitter. So if you guys didn't see what, hang on, Peter Samedi just, hang on a second. Gotcha. Hang on, I gotta answer him right now. Gotcha. I got my keyboard is in my way. This is terrible. Gotcha. Let you know tonight. I'm trying to get him on the live stream. Tomorrow we're gonna see if we can work that out. Peter Samedi is the publisher of Alterna Press. Really nice guy, and I think we do need to speak. So my tweet on that was, I thought it was pretty funny. I just put up the Karen Jedi, and it says, "Karen Kenobi, well done, Disney Star Wars. You are going to get that vaunted, untapped group of Chardonnay drinking Marin County moms. These aren't the prices we were looking for, Karen." That's pretty much the only thing. Is I was talking about this to Mrs. Nerdrotic Melissa, and that's pretty much her entire clientele is Marin County moms. And if we could get them to cosplay as like Jedis and do like a High Republic skit, that would be funny, of a bunch of, 40 to 50-year-old Karens sitting around drinking wine, saying stuff like, "Well, you have to admit, Siths are pretty hot." Talking like Marin County moms. It'd be fucking hilarious. Maybe someday when I have a production budget. So, Tay Hare. Female Thor, boring. Can't wait for White Panther. You live long enough, you might see it. You might actually see it. It hit me today when I think I was listening to a little bit of Toxic Femininity before I started this. And I think a day is coming, sooner than later, where male and female roles won't matter anymore. I mean, they'll write them male. They'll like, was it Mark Ruffalo joked about playing Agatha Christie? And I'm like, oh, that'll happen. They'll have a man play Agatha Christie. Absolutely. And that's when it's done. That's when it's over. When they're getting absurd. It just, when Hollywood starts to get, I mean, they're getting absurd. You know, there's one thing to push the envelope, but like we're starting to deny science and get absurd. And you know what? I'm just going to say, please do it. Please. I don't think this is a coincidence that the advent of social media comes around and then the era of the movie star dies. I don't think those are two separate things. I think they are directly related. Social media starts becoming more prominent. We start seeing comic book creators, actors, producers in their real lives. We start getting more exposure to them. And then for one, it kills their cult of personality. We see they're just people for the most part. And then we see some of them are really sick and weird, demented people. And, you know, it loses its flair. The shine is off that completely. And TMZ, which is not a side. I don't go to TMZ. I don't do that stuff. Favorite videos from a celebrity is Banjo Bomb from Stephen Martin. I play it every day, every morning. A minute and a half of banjo. Diddy makes everything better. He's a very good banjo player, and that's a very difficult instrument to play. The Legion of Reason is screw the Jedi. I'm a Sith. I'm all Sith, baby. That's right. Breeze Cheese new Marvel movie Bigfoot Jedi, says Drake is 6. Yeah, as long as she has her shoes on. Bowie 8085. Jeremy, check out Terminology. Oh my God, this is a huge word. Terminal Montages channel. Okay, I can when I see it slowly. Terminal Montages channel, and John Ward's channel. I'll tell Jeremy. I'm sure he probably already knows. Flavius Alicanther. Eternals looks great. What with the gender swapped Ajak and Makari and Sprite. Oh, and making the now female Ajak leader instead of Zuras. It's Zuras. Yay. Yeah, he's angry. He's being sarcastic. I really need to get some new glasses. Adam Wolford. Hey, Nerdrotic, check out last podcast. It was Jeff Hicks fracking funny. You won't be able to breathe. You might pass out. I couldn't put the name in it. Says Adam Wolford. Well, whose last podcast? Jeff's last podcast or yours, Adam? I'll check it out, Adam. Sure. I love Jeff. You guys know I love Jeff. Toxic Manfly. He's been getting a lot of shit online lately because of his comic book. I don't know what the update is. I hope he's following up with that. He does need to do that. But yeah, it's just certain people like to pounce on stuff, and they've been doing that quite a bit. Toxic Man Flu, FNT, after Odin, when shit gets raunchy. That's right. When Odin leaves, it gets raunchy. Matthias Hernandino, make Nerdrotic review each episode of The Tiger King. Oh my God. Do I have to? Well, okay, I'm going to check with my patrons right now. Okay, so patrons. Do I need to review every single episode of The Tiger King? 1 for yes and 2 for no. I mean, it would be live and it would be on Nerdrotic Live. I could probably watch it later in the week. But I got a promise out there that I'm going to finish watching the Warhammer 40K stuff, and then I'm going to start watching Blake 7. And I'll probably do a quick review of that. but maybe. It's not like I don't have time on my hands. Gary, did you see my email I sent you on the updates of the Time Lord Compendium and the Time Lord Handbook I sent? Also, did you get a chance to check out my comic art on DeviantArt as well? Sup, Jeremy, as you rock, drinker equals badass. Autumn. Autumn, I haven't seen it yet. I did see your email though, and I swear I didn't want to click on it and go into a bad mood. That was my whole goal. As I saw that, and I'm like, I'm going to wait until I've got a Doctor Who video on the schedule. It's going to come out. I need to get good and fired up for it, and I'll read it then. Echo Watt, what culture ranked Picard and Discovery ahead of original series? Dude, oh my God, I'm going to destroy them. Nope. Everybody just says no, except for Echo Watt. Yeah. It looks like I need to get on What Culture, by the way. Love the Ryan Drake series, Critical Drinker. Reminded me of old school Robert Ludlum. And also great panel tonight, Gary. Funniest early Saturday morning. Says Aditya Singh. Thank you, Aditya, for £5. And Bill Durkin. Please, drinker, take my money and have a pint. I'm gonna plug drinkers drinks books. I'm gonna check them out too. I bet you they're good. Gary, I collect Masterpiece Transformers and G.I. Joe 6-inch range is kick-ass. Joe is back. I hope a new TV series can be made classic and not SJW. Autumn, I would absolutely watch a new G.I. Joe show if they did it right. I would be all over it. I'd be very excited about that. And if they, and the Masterpiece Transformers are fucking badass. And you know what? The G.I. Joe figures, I wasn't into it at the time, but those are damn good action figures. I'm not going to lie. I love that whole era. I do. With everything going on, I tried finding new movies and shows to watch on Netflix, and almost entirely woke garbage. Even when a leading man, he is a simp. Sad. 487 Sean Tower for 10 Canadian dollars. And I would like to take this moment to sincerely thank Hollywood for the growth of YouTube at this moment. I do want to express my gratitude. Every time you demasculate your films, your TV shows, you're sending more audience to us. Again, I don't want a sausage fest. I want women represented. I want all people represented if it works for the story. But genre is king right now. And what created genre, Western genre entertainment, is a bunch of boys and a bunch of men and some girls. And we all liked heroes, male and female heroes, idealized heroes, big muscles, nice booties, big boobies. Yes, that's what works. That's what sells. And if you brought it back tomorrow, you'd start making more money again. Instead of, we don't want to see ourselves every day. When I see Chris Hemsworth, I don't feel bad about myself. It's called being secure. It's called being confident. Chris Hemsworth is a much better looking human being than I am. He has more muscles. He will always be that way. He's younger. And I love him as an actor. I don't envy him. He doesn't make me feel bad. I enjoy his art. I enjoy his performing. That's the problem. We have too many insecure fans, and they're listening to the wrong people, and they're going to the wrong places. Again, not everybody has to be comfortable in their skin. Not everybody is. It's an unfortunate thing, and it's not anything I mean to shame anybody for. It's something, it's a personal journey you got to go through. But when it's 99% of the problems I see online, then it's an epidemic, and it's going to get worse, especially when people are locked up. Listen, people are locked down right now, but this is nothing. I have been, again, locked up, and I said to Mrs. Nerdrotic today, I'm like, most people just wouldn't make it in prison, and it's not the fear, it's not the fighting, It's not being confined with murderers. It's the boredom. It's the fucking boredom you got to deal with because it is excruciating and long. And there is no way to get away from it. Some days you got to go to court and you get stuck in a holding cell for 12 hours without a book, without a cushion. You're sitting on cement for 12 hours. You learn how to sleep on cement. I did. And yeah, you learn this thing where you just learn how to sleep in any situation without a blanket or anything. Ham sandwich for $4.99. Ever notice how New Direction sounds exactly like nude erection? Jeremy said he has a new direction for Star Wars, an above average new direction. I never noticed that until you brought it up. Ham sandwich. Critical Drinker, tell us about the maybe movie that might be made, still on target. I will pass that on to him, Big Daddy Miri. My apologize that you didn't get it across. I'm sorry, but yeah, we couldn't keep him there that long. Blind Jack. Once Doctor Who was canceled, I think maybe we could do a Paul McGann miniseries and use the Time War to save face and unfuck canon. That would make everyone happy, eh? Blind Jack, it could. It could. I have the Time War. I now have, no, I'm still waiting on one. I think I'm still waiting on one. Everything's slowed down. All the shipments have slowed down, but I'm waiting for a time disc. I got Time War Part 1 and 2 of the 8th Doctor on eBay. TC the Mandalorian for £5. Johnny Depp always listening to the song Crazy Bitch. He got one and scratches down his back plus a gift in his bed, but I hope he wasn't on top of it. No, he wasn't. And I like Johnny Depp. I've always liked Johnny Depp. And he doesn't deserve to be treated like, I doubt he's perfect, but she is, yeah, she's going to end up in jail someday or a rehab or worse. She's got a lot of problems. Modalicious. OJ and Carol Baskin's Killers Recognize Killers. I know what you meant, Modalicious, but thanks again for the $2. Mathis Hermandino for $5. I'm so Warhammer, scream for the Emperor when I climax. Oh, that's pretty funny. Lucy Fluxhard. What was the Critical Drinkers book series, please? And it's Ryan Drake. It's Ryan Drake. Thanks, and hi, Az. Great to see you on a live stream again. Yes, these are real. Yes, these are real. Probably talking about her boobs. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's her boobs. Okay. Ryan Champ. Hail, Gary. Have you had a chance to look at Once and Future? Also, in the Gotham High kissing frame, they actually, Jack Napier, that's actually Jack Napier, not a female. It is? Oh, I thought it was a lesbian kiss and it wasn't. Well, he might as well be. Tim Ryder for $2. San Diego Convention Center is now a homeless shelter. Yes, it is. I want you to think about something, folks. We're still allowed to go to grocery stores. We're still allowed to congregate in some places. We know we can get it through talking now. We know it's been in the United States since November. I'm guessing it's been longer. And now the LA mayor is paying people to snitch on, you know how I feel about snitching. He's paying people to snitch on other people who are going to work. But it's okay to go to the store and go on a walk. Something's not right. But if I say that on YouTube, I'll get demonetized. So Mike Barra's channel got demonetized today. And I can talk about it here in an unlisted video, but, well, it's going to go public, but yeah. And you can't show him support because he was banned off Twitter. Now, he's edgy. He's out there. He's a woo-woo guy. He's on Ancient Aliens. But he still has a right to say what he thinks. I think we're all adult enough to cut through the bullshit. T800, hail panel. I feel bad for Valiant You not taking off, but then again, Bloodshot was a pretty bad movie in my opinion. Much love. Keep it up. You're all amazing. T800, Bloodshot could have been good with Vin Diesel. It just didn't have the budget. And Valiant and Black Mask, and there's a bunch of publishers that are going to die because they only exist to get scripts sold in Hollywood. They don't exist to make comics. If you're going to make a comic book publishing company, your entire existence should be, we want to make comic books, not unsold scripts to be sold as IPs to Hollywood. Okay? They're two completely different mediums that don't really go together. It's been amazing what we've gotten so far, but comic books are impossible. That's what I love about them. They're impossible. That's why I was going to name my shop Impossible Things. Just like the Journal of Impossible Things. Impossible Things. Because they're impossible. And you have a limitless budget to do whatever the hell you want. Try to adapt Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog into a movie. You can't. It's a comic book. I mean, I'm sure he'd love a go at it, maybe as an animated movie, but like a live action one, it wouldn't work. Not now, anyway. We don't have the technology. But it's a perfect comic book. You know, Elric will never, it would be ridiculously bad as a film. Great comic book. It almost makes me want to go into publishing, but I don't want to go and lose a bunch of money. But I have a publishing company. I have a name anyway. I haven't used it. It's called Entropy Comics. I'd rather just sell them, to be honest with you. It was great, but it seems the BBC officially joined in. When I looked at the TAH gifts, they replied to Karen. Then there was a bunch of new ones with the new logo. Boo, Ada McGurr, yeah. Oh, that watch party for Doctor Who. T800, below average as, but above average D. There you go. Who's better, Joker or Vader, says Megatron Prime for $2. I wish I could have given that to the panel. Joker. Mello for $2. Howdy. Thank you, Mello. Final film comment. First super chat, my good sir, Gary. You help my sobriety going. Now you are the man. You have you seen Jeremy John's review of Picard? Also, hello everyone. I have not seen it. I know he liked it, and I need to finish my review, and I will see it, and I'll probably disagree with him a lot. I disagree with him a lot anyway. Dean Valentine, being Irish, I love seeing reference of my ancestors' migration paths in pop culture, England, America, and Romulan space. Hashtag cheeky fuckers. Dean, that's awesome. D. Gray, Nerdrotic, love your streams. How about a positive question? All this bad media in comics, etc. Where should we vote with our wallets? Thoughts? For positive, there are good comic books out there. You got to work very hard to find them. They're usually in the indie sphere. But I would vote with some Indiegogo comics because those are people making genuine comics. Now, it doesn't have to be Comicsgate. There are Kickstarter books and Indiegogo books that are out there that are really good. I would hunt there. I would also go to Alterna. Really check out Alterna. Those are affordable books. They're creator-owned for the most part. And when I open my shop, I will be carrying Alterna books. Son of the Wolf. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank, half a pack of cigarettes, and it's dark out, and we're wearing our sunglasses at night. Hit it. And we're wearing our sunglasses. Hit it. Hashtag not real Oklahoma, says Modalicious for $2. And thank you, Son of a Wolf, for $5. Blues Brothers is a brilliant, brilliant film. Gary, can you guys do a live stream of heavy metal? Emperor Billy Ritchie. I would. I don't know if anybody would watch it, but I'd do it. Tiger King is white trash Game of Thrones, says Shane Roysteck. That's what I've heard. That's what I heard. They look like meth heads. So T800, Tiger King is what Rob Zombie wishes he could conjure up. Probably. I have not seen Tiger King yet, but what everyone is saying, this reminds me of another fantastic movie called The Roar. Watch it, and it's nightmarishly hilarious. Says Christopher Arcella for $10. The Roar. I've never heard of it. Have you guys heard of that? There's an Amber Alert. I don't have my phone next to me. Oh, sorry. It's an Amber Heard. Amber Heard. Amber Turd. Riff Magos. 4 of my favorite content creators in the same stream. Excellent. Well, who's the 5th one that was left out, Riff? Aw. It was probably me. Jason Smoot. I can't remember. Have you played The Witcher 3 yet? It is something that would be fun over the quarantine. Jason Smoot, I'm going to actually live stream my first playing of The Witcher. I promise you guys I will do that. I don't know if it's going to be member or Patreon yet. It might be a dual member Patreon thing. And it will be hilarious for you because I am the worst gamer of all time. Legalize the hood. Legalize the hood. Doctor Who should have used Leela's descendant on Gallifrey for a strong female Time Lord character. Support package for you in the email arriving arriving Tuesday. Awesome. Yeah, I meant to go by my post office today and I didn't. What email for Grand can you DM me on Twitter so I can send you? What email for the 1,000 so I could send it? Chrononaut. It was Gary@nerdrotic.com, and the word has gotten out. I've actually been talking about it on live streams for like a week, and I got no responses. But man, as soon as I make a video, I've got 20 emails waiting for me. So it's the first one. First one I can prove. I got to stick with it. I wish I could help them all. Hello from Montetoba, reading heavy metal 78 to 85. All this talk about heavy metal. Halcoholic. I love that name, Halcoholic. That is a fucking great name. It makes me. I don't have any heavy metals. I left them at the shop. I didn't have all of them, but I had a big collection of heavy metals. I wonder how much they are. I'm trying not to buy anything right now. I bought some comic books. But I'm not buying anything expensive. I'm being very, very cautious right now because I am the sole income here. The salon is shut down, and I don't think the landlord's deferring the rent for Mrs. Nerdrotic. We're not sure yet, so we're gonna have to come up with it. Can you do pity Bilbo didn't kill Gollum? Quote. Oh, can I do the pity Bilbo didn't kill the Golem? Oh, it's a pity Bilbo didn't kill Gollum. A pity. It was, oh God, I had it. I've heard it a million times. It's pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. It's pity that saved, that kept, oh shit, now I'm going to have to read it. It has everything to do with what your mindset was when you take possession of the ring, when you officially take possession of the ring. Because when you take possession of the ring, it basically grafts itself to you. It starts possessing you. And the reason that the Astari or Gandalf chose, basically God chose Frodo and chose Bilbo. And Gandalf kind of suspected that because the hobbits are, they look like soft little creatures that really love their creature comforts and food and baked goods and smoking, and but they're fucking tough. They're amazingly tough. They're actually more sturdy than a human, than a man. And there's different types of men, okay? So Aragorn was like almost elf-like in power, okay? He's the men from the West were like were a better brand of men. As far as they could live longer, they were stronger, more endurance, and so that's why Bilbo and Frodo were so resistant to the ring. Now, Bilbo was more resistant than Frodo, because Frodo, it was kind of thrusted on him, and he was scared when he took it. Bilbo got it in pity. At least that's the way I see it. Bilbo. I remember when I saw The Hobbit, the first time I saw The Hobbit, I was a kid. And it was the Gollum scene. And I remember as a 6-year-old kid feeling tremendously sorry for Gollum. And I was mad at Bilbo. I'm like, why did he steal his ring? That was fucked up. That was like the only thing that guy had. You know, I didn't say fucked up because I was 6. But I didn't understand it. I was like really mad at Bilbo. And I felt sorry for Gollum. And it turns out, I didn't understand at the time what a tragic story Gollum really is. And, one of the reasons I love Lord of the Rings is, and I doubt J.R.R. Tolkien, he was a scholar, a very learned man. I doubt he knew much about addiction back then. Maybe he did. It was out there. AA was out there and stuff. And maybe he was secretly in AA. Who knows? But man, Gollum is addiction personified. Frodo, it's a pity Bilbo didn't kill Gollum when he had the chance. Gandalf, pity. It's pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Many that live deserve death. Some that die deserve life. Can you give it to him, Frodo? Do not be too eager to deal out death in judgment. Even the very wise cannot see all ends. My heart tells me that Gollum has some part to play in it. For good or evil, before this is over. The pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of many. I screwed that up. Before this is over, the pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of many. Frodo, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened. Gandalf, so do all who live to see such times. But that is not, this is a great line for now, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what we do with the time that is given to us. There are other forces at work in this world, Frodo, besides that of evil. Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you were meant to have it. And that is an encouraging thought. Yeah, I got to totally tweet that out later. That's such an appropriate quote for right now. Echo Watt Base says, not sure if you message Team YouTuber, but our live streams are showing up again in our sub description. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was from my message either. I doubt it, but I tweeted at Team YouTube and I said, you guys have a big problem. Streams are not showing up in people's subscription feeds. I mean, that's bad. That's bad for YouTube. It's bad for us. You don't get as many viewers, which means YouTube doesn't get as many ad money, but it was fixed like the next day. I'm sure they were working on it and aware, but it was going on for like a week and a half, and it was starting to piss a lot of people off. Mapillin MP219. Gary, would you agree that Kirk and Spock style Lurpa fight versus... Okay. Gary, would you agree to a Kirk Spock style Lurpa fight versus Will Wheaton, but with more satisfying ending? And yes, I have seen this in my mind. Cheers. I would straight up fight Will Wheaton. Like get in the ring and box. I'd hurt that poor kid though. So, I mean, I would. For charity? Absolutely. If he wants to get in the ring, I'll tie one arm behind my back. I'll take on Will Wheaton. We'll donate something to suicide prevention or Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that. You know what? I'll let him hit me a couple times first. I will. But I wouldn't want to hurt him though. I mean, I don't like him, but I wouldn't want to hurt the guy. Christopher Arcella, Gary and Jeremy, remember when Mark Wade made eye contact with us and EVS at New York City Comic-Con? Christopher, yes, Christopher, you're the best, man. I do remember that. That was probably one of my favorite moments when Cecil got a selfie with Mark Wade at Comic-Con. Samuel Stevenson for the last super chat. I buy all my graphic novels digitally. Okay, boomers. Samuel Stevenson, The reason you can buy, and that's okay, but the reason you buy your graphic novels digitally is because there's a bunch of boomers buying paper comic books. If the boomers stop buying paper comic books, you won't be able to buy your comics digitally. And because you're buying that comic digitally, there's 30 other people stealing it digitally. And I'm glad you're buying it, Stephen. I am. Or Samuel, I'm sorry, Samuel Stevenson. Thank you for the $1.99. See, people always mistake me. Digital comics should exist. I think they're a good aside. They will never support the industry. That doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means they won't it will not support the industry ever. Ever. It's not like I haven't thought about this. It's not like I haven't gone to professional meetings about this. It's not like I haven't talked to publishers about this and pros about this and thought about it for years. Okay, so it's like I'm not an expert in many things, but I'm pretty decent at comic book retailing when I put my mind to it, and I know a thing or two about the industry. And digital will never support the comic book industry. Nuff said. And for the reasons I just told you. For every one that's sold digital, 30 or 40 are stolen. And it's overpriced as it is. So if you offer up a subscription service, guess what? One exists. DC has one. Marvel has one. I mean, two exist. You know what I mean. I can go on my DC universe and read comic books right now. Does that hurt sales to a comic shop? No, it does not. It does not. Now I'll ask you, Samuel, would you read comic books if you couldn't get them digitally? Is it a choice? Is it like, I have enough money, I choose to read them digital instead of a pamphlet? And wouldn't it be better to get the pamphlet and the digital at the same time? Marvel was doing that for a long time. I hated it, by the way, because they put these little stickers on the covers and it warped the books. So yeah. Yeah. Can you tell I get that question a lot? Like every time I say digital cannot support the comic book industry. I like digital. Well, good. I'm glad you do. I'm sorry. I don't remember saying I didn't like digital. I just said it won't support the comic book industry. All right. We're going to close my little Surface Pro here. My Surface Pro with my little stickers on it. My coffee sticker. These things are pretty good. My Bauhaus sticker. Oh, my Sicily sticker. Yeah, these things are pretty good. I like it. I've done OBS live streams on this. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it all the time, but when I was in Star Trek Las Vegas, this is what I was streaming on, and it worked. It worked. Okay. Let's go to you guys for a little bit. Hi, Draco, TR French. Oh, TR French, you need to be modded. Fucking goosebumps, Lord of the Rings. And I tore that up. I'll read it again. I mean, that's such a fucking great quote for right now, right? Especially this part. Okay, wait. I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had never happened. Gandalf. So do all who live in such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what we do with the time that is given to us. There are other forces at work, Frodo, besides that of evil. Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you were meant to have it. And that is an encouraging thought. I love the part but the best line is many that live deserve death. Some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them? That's from a man who's seen horrific war. That you don't even think about life like that. I mean, just imagine what that guy's seen. Hey, we all saw. Well, most of us saw 1917, and the butchery that was World War I. Just straight up meat grinder. Horrific war. that doesn't get talked about enough, honestly. World War II is a sexy war. There's a lot of film and stuff, but man, World War I was so nasty. I find it more fascinating because the Spanish flu came afterwards. Plus, it was and how it created World War II. But World War II was like, that was a real good versus evil fight, and we had to ally with a equally evil country. That's what sucked. Is what gets overlooked is Stalin was just as bad as Hitler. He just wanted to kill everybody instead of one group of people. So I guess that made him better. And he was still a racist mofo as well. So yeah, fucking Tolkien's awesome, man. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'll fight Will Wheaton. I will. The Wrench Riders. Is everybody wrenched here now? TR French, you're rent. TR French, you're wrenched. Ooh, that rhymed. Cardinal Sins wrenched. Yeah, if you guys are in my chats, just remind me. Say, hey, I'm a patron. Because if you're a patron, you get a wrench. Like, automatically. So I don't catch it all the time. So if you can remind me or some of the mods. And now, you don't have to be responsible. You're not, the one thing I'll say is with the wrench, there is some responsibility. You don't have to use it. If you are going to use it, I want you to keep in mind, try to keep my mindset, which is pretty much anything goes, particularly insults towards me. That needs to go because, yeah. But spamming, I hate when you can, and when somebody's berating somebody in the chat over and over and over and over and over again. Now, once in a while is fine. It's okay if they bring up the orange man once in a while, just friendly reminder that, hey, we don't get super political here. And if it's really light, you don't even need to say anything. But if you see like a political thing start, just go, hey, we don't really get political. No offense. You're not bad or anything. We just don't do it here. Just always, with kindness. I know there's people who are trouble out there. There's a guy out there who I would love to welcome back on the channel because I like him, but he keeps, he's got a big beef with Odin right now, and it's sketch therapy. I brought him back to the channel, and he continues to start trouble. Now, it's a responsibility. You don't have to use it though. Don't feel like you need to use it. That's all. But I mean, the people you want to go to are the Stellar Heathers, Cardinal Sins, according to Chris Persia. Chris Persia is a long time wrench on my channel. So yeah, and Mary Ashmead. I don't think Mary Ashmead doesn't hang out in the chats too much anymore. I think they get a little too much for her, and that's fine. She's gone through like a really tough time, so I understand she doesn't want to get into any salty stuff. Yeah, it's the way it goes though. But you have my promise. You have my sincere promise that when the channel hits I haven't decided yet, 250,000, 300,000. Who knows? The growth might stop tomorrow. Things are weird right now on YouTube, guys. But when it hits there, you'll know. And I'm going to start just making videos on anything I want. Now, when I say that, every single video I put out, I feel passionate about it. But I don't put out like Expanse news that I hear. I'm going to start doing that stuff. And I don't give a fuck how many people watch it. But that's when I get to the point where like, okay, because I'm not a greedy dude. I don't need to have 1 million subs. I don't. This is way bigger than I thought it would get anyway. Saying that, I'm also competitive. I'm a very competitive person, and I like to beat my goals. I'm not competing against anybody here on YouTube, but I set goals. I like to surpass them, and I hate it when I don't meet them. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Chris Persia is a master. Good person. Good Canadian. Should make his country proud. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a exozone this Thursday, and it's going to get... I'm going to start getting into my questions about what's going on. Cardinal probably knows what I'm talking about. Cardinal, I don't know how you feel about Mike Barra. I know you know who he is. I know he gets salty with people and he gets in little fights. But he did mention he got his channel got demonetized today. And I have been watching his daily updates, and some stuff is woo-woo and some stuff isn't. But we're going to get into, I'm going to get in the car this week, and I'm going to drive by all of our emergency rooms here in the city. I'm going to take a peek at what's going on. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to interfere. But most of them are right off a road. There's a couple of hospitals, like the one where my son was born. It's on California Street. You can just drive by it, and you can look right into the emergency room from the street, so I wouldn't be blocking anybody or interfering with anybody. And then there's the one up on Twin Peaks where I had to go to when I crushed my hand. That one, you can just peek from the street. So, yeah, I'm going to go check it out. We'll see what little citizen journalism. Plus, it gets me out of the house. I'm going to stay in my car. I'm going to keep my social distancing. And again, I'm not going to interfere with any of our fine, first responders, ambulance drivers, doctors, anything like that. They're doing heroic work right now, so hail to them. What is your favorite Lord of the Rings quote of all time? There's two. My favorite quote is the one I read all the time. Peace. We will have peace when you hang from a gibbet for the sport of your own crows. And they're both from Theoden. But it's also, I don't know what the name of this, it's The Days Have Gone Down in the West. They're both depressing ones. But it kind of reminds me of what's going on right now. The days have gone down in the west, behind the hills into shadow. Who shall gather the smoke of the dead wood burning, or behold the flower years from the sea returning? Where now are the horse and the rider? Where is the horn that was blowing? Where is the helm and the hauberk and the bright hair flowing? Where is the harp on the harp string and the red fire glowing? Where is the spring and the harvest and the tall corn growing? They have passed like rain on the mountain, like a wind in the meadow. The days have gone down in the west, behind the hills into shadow. Who shall gather the smoke of the dead wood burning, or behold the flower years from the sea returning? Now, I like how it was how they switched that around in The Two Towers. How has it come to this? And there's Lament for the Rohirrim. Lament for the Rohirrim. Yeah, Theoden is one of my favorite characters because in the movie they really I love his tale of redemption. His story arc is fantastic. When you answer for the burning of the West Fold and the children that lie dead there. Yep. Or the soldiers who are hewn even as they lie dead. when you hang from a gibbet for the sport of your own crows. Gibbet and Donna! Oh, man. Extra syllables kill me, dude. Argentus. Argentus. Yeah, I don't need to. Well, okay, so it's Draco Argentus. Argentus. Or is it Argentus? Is it J or a G? Is it a hard G? Riders of Rohan, what news from the mock? Yeah, Carl Urban looked like Thor in that movie too, by the way. Okay, gonna wrap this up. And I'm gonna go to bed. I think I'm gonna have some ice cream and go to bed. I figure I've been taking these longer walks and these runs for miles, so I'm probably actually getting a better. I've been doing like prison or jailhouse push-ups too, so did some before the show. A little tired, and yeah. So the Inquisition will be up tomorrow, but I'm cutting it into 2. So the Westworld review is up already, and then I'm going to put the second part out tomorrow morning. The chill stream from last night will be up tonight. This will be posted tomorrow evening. Public. If you're watching this now, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I record these in front of my patrons. That's who you see here. And then, of course, there'll be a nooner tomorrow. There'll be a live stream every day. Sorry I took today off, but I think that's the way of things. When I do a nooner on my channel, I'm probably not going to, or when I do an Inquisition on my channel, I'm not going to do a nooner the next day. Because it just feels like I just live streamed. And, you know, I mean, right now I don't feel bad live streaming every day because we're all confined. I don't know if it'll always stay daily, but maybe if you guys like it. I am going to shoot for trying to get it done at the same time, but the way my life is, the way my schedule is, that's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. That would mean, yeah, I just don't record videos that way. I mean, I'm not like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers or The Quartering. I can't just sit down and do a video in one take and have somebody else edit it. And it's like, no, I do everything. So, and I like to build narratives and stuff. I guess I could do that, but yeah, and maybe I will someday. Who knows? Never, you know, never not consider something, right? So, all right. Thanks again, Nettled Nerds, Cardinal Sin, Echo Watt, Draco, Argentus, or Argentus. Like general. Okay. Draco Argentos. Gotcha. Cardinal Sin. Hey, Cardinal Sin, did Contact in the Desert get canceled? Let me check before I go. Did I tell you guys I got press passes to that? What's it say here? Okay. Contact in the Desert is rescheduling our 2020 show to June 4th through 7th, 2021. We have been closely monitoring recommendations surrounding this and the circumstances. Okay, so they just pushed it back. Oh. They canceled it. Whoa. Out of deep concern for safety, exhibitors, speaker staff, upon the recommendations of the World Health Organization and State Contact in the Desert is rescheduling our 2020 show to June 4th through 7th, 2021. So there is no Contact in the Desert. Yeah, so much for that. All right. Yeah, I got press passes, but I doubt they're good anymore. So, yeah, that's a year away. That's a year away. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Be well. And I will see you tomorrow in a few hours.